It's just the truth. The truth is found inside of the depths. Your power is found inside of the depths. And the truth comes into your life like a flame, and it will purify you. It will cleanse you. It bursts you, and it brings you home. The deep feminine is dedicated and devoted to truth, authenticity, expression, right? What drives her is freedom, right? She craves freedom. What inspires her is courage, boldness, ballsiness. And what guides her is love, right? She leads from the heart. She leads from the womb. She leads from the body. Above everything else, the feminine, the priestess, right? She's devoted to love. She doesn't feel like she has to explain herself. The deep feminine hates that. She doesn't apologize for existing or being herself. She allows herself to be messy because it's liberating. All right. So I wanted to have this conversation with you all today to really speak to the feminine, the sacred feminine, right? The deep feminine. And what I see happening time and time again is this glorification of the light feminine, the side of her that is nurturing, the side of her that is the creatrix, the mother of all life. But we never really talk about her death and destruction. And so many times we really fail to truly embody the full capacity and emanation of our of our feminine elixir, of our feminine power, because we resist her range. We don't allow ourselves to truly descend into the underworld with the dark goddess, right? We reject the mystery. We reject the unknown when it truly your greatest soul artistry is birthed from this chaos, right? From the mystery. And it is in this chaos that creation happens. There's ecstasy in the madness and magic in the mystery, but it's allowing yourself to descend deep enough into the body to unveil and unlock it. When we really begin to push our edges, explore our depths, and journey into the deepest part of our feminine, into the darkness. And this is where our feminine core and power is unlocked. So today we're going to have a talk about the feminine descent, the journey into the void, and how you really can begin to work with the cyclical nature of the feminine to unlock your unique blueprints, your templates, your codes, and to really just drop deep into your psyche and DNA, to move into a place of soul artistry, where you really begin to embrace the cyclical nature of the feminine, right? Where you become devoted to God, to being a vessel, to being a bridge, to being a pillar, and really beginning to find your own unique rhythm, your unique signature of the feminine. So what I've learned from teaching feminine embodiment for the last few years is that everybody wants some cookie cutter approach or 5-step formula to the feminine. And the feminine is not linear, okay? Good luck approaching the feminine from this way, okay? There's no controlling the feminine. She is wild. She cannot be contained. And the way that she expresses, moves, and creates through you will be unique to you. So this is truly a journey about uncovering, unveiling, peeling back all the layers to meet your essence and your unique gifts, coming back to your body, coming back to your truth, and reclaiming your deepest feminine power and expression. So right now, we are seeing this massive revival of the feminine, like we've never seen before. And it's amazing, right? Women are awakening to their power, they're reclaiming their bodies, their gifts are coming online. We're seeing women step into leadership. We're seeing women become authorities. But to do this from a foundation that is truly rooted in the sacred feminine, we also have to embrace the feminine way. We have to embrace soft power, right? The feminine isn't commanding or demanding power. It's something deeply felt in the field through who she is being, right? It's not so much about what she does, but more about who she is. And to do this, we have to embrace our feminine codes. And this comes from a complete dismantling of everything that you've known about yourself, about your gifts, about your purpose, right? What you believe to be true about being powerful. So, what I'm asking you to do today is to really approach this conversation with an open mind and an open heart and let it be a transmission. Let it be an initiation. There's an energetic frequency behind the words that I'm saying. So, it's beginning to tap into the subtle, to resensitize yourself, to fully receive the medicine that I'm offering here today. Really beginning to reattune yourself, resensitize yourself to these subtle realms, because this is the world that the feminine lives in. She lives in the body, where she begins to breathe and move and create in a way that isn't logical, right? It's not about the mind. It's not about the ego. It's not about what you think you should do. It's about tapping back into your oracular abilities. And this happens within the body, awakening the vessel, the dormant DNA, dropping within your soul codex. And this can really only happen as the feminine descends. So, what is the feminine descent? And what do I even mean by this, right? When I'm talking about the feminine descent, I'm talking about returning ourselves to our cyclical nature, right? If you look at nature, there's seasons, but we have so deeply been conditioned to run our unique set of energetic mechanics like the masculine on these 24-hour cycles where we're constantly pushing, we're constantly striving for more and more, bigger, bigger. And it's like, when is enough ever enough? And truly, the feminine was never meant to work, to create, or to just be or operate in this way. So when we're talking today about the feminine descent, what we're really talking about is beginning to embrace the cycles of life, but mostly today, embracing the seasons of the void, of the descent, of embracing the mystery, journeying into the unknown, right? Who here is familiar with the void? Like, have you heard that term before? So to me, the void is the womb, right? She is the cauldron. She is this place of pure potentiality where everything is possible, where we begin to journey into the underworld, into the unknown, to really unlock our deepest expression, our power, and the unique artistry of our souls in true blueprints. And you have to understand that there's stages to the void. There's stages to these different cycles of the nature of the feminine. There's a death. And this is when everything that you've known to be true, who you believed yourself to be, starts falling away. It starts releasing. It starts being stripped, almost like the rug is being shaken out beneath your feet. Then you go into the void, which is this just place of darkness where you really have no idea what's happening, right? You don't know up from down. You don't know left from right. Things that you used to like or identify with just don't fit anymore. It is a complete obliteration. Okay. And this takes you into this phase of gestation where you start getting these pulsings, these curiosities, these nudgings of new life forming, but you're truly not ready yet, right? You're in this incubation, you're in this gestation until you are ready to emerge, until you are ready for new life to be born. And this really mirrors the sacred divine principles of devotion, receptivity, surrender, and creation, right? This is the pathway of the goddess. This is the foundation of the feminine. But what happens is that we come to these seasons when things begin to fall away, when things start to be shaken up, when we enter into a risk portal with everything that we've known or believed to be true about life, but most importantly, about ourselves, right? Hello, ego death. And this is where most women collapse. And when they truly become disconnected from their feminine, when they begin to grasp and move to a state of survival, trying to get by, trying to get money, trying to just get the bare minimum, when really what you're being invited into is to awaken your sovereignty, right? Your ability as a creator and the space to truly birth whatever is desiring to be birthed to you and through you from God, from your essence, from your soul. And a prayer that I've been sitting in, or a mantra, or just an invocation, is just that, like, you have to be okay sitting in the silence of yourself and in others as you transition into who you're becoming. And truly, this can be some of the most painful parts. But for the women who are brave enough to just sit in the darkness, to gestate, to be in the stillness, to be in the silence, what is on the other side for you is far beyond anything that you have ever dreamed of or believed to be possible, right? It's a place where you awaken your soul artistry. And this is literally my favorite spot, like my sweet spot to work with women, because this is the room where you truly get to meet yourself, more of your voice, more of your truth, more of your power. And this is when you really begin to come back home to yourself, to who you were before the world told you who you had to be. Okay. Like, think of that essence of who you were as a child. This is what I'm speaking to. And the feminine descent is challenging because death is painful, right? It feels like everything in your life begins to get stripped away. It feels like a complete obliteration. And it's because it's supposed to. It is in this chaos that you start to build a foundation from your feminine to truly be in alignment with who you are as a frequency, as a soul. The feminine literally is the foundation for everything. It's beginning to navigate having one foot in death and destruction and one foot in rebirth and creation. The feminine is constantly dying and being reborn. Just when you think you have a grasp on her, boom, right? She is forever changing. The feminine is the ultimate shapeshifter. And until you begin to fully embrace the feminine way, or the natural rhythm of nature, you constantly will feel like you're failing, or you will create this unneeded suffering in your life. And you have to understand that there's a difference in feeling empty and God emptying you. I'm going to say that again. There is a difference in feeling empty and where God is emptying you. When you are willing to die, to surrender, to let go, and allow something magical to happen. And the deep feminine knows this, right? She doesn't resist the void. She knows how fruitful it is there. Your power is literally found in the depths. The feminine leader does not bypass the void when the void presents itself. She knows how rich it is there. She knows how much growth there is there. She dives in head first. And truly, this is how she transforms so quickly, how she rises so quickly, because she doesn't resist the cyclical nature. She knows that she will always rise. The feminine knows she will always rise, better, stronger, and truer than before. This is how she becomes more powerful and more potent, more magnetic over time, because she doesn't resist the transformation. She knows that it is literally her responsibility to transform. And if someone is not continually transforming themselves and daring to become truer and better and unafraid of the transformation process it takes to get there, and they are in the business of being a coach, being a mentor, being a guide, being a healer, insert blank, then you are not in integrity as a feminine leader. And you are not connected to your feminine power or your feminine core, period. It's just the truth. The truth is found inside of the depths. Your power is found inside of the depths. And the truth comes into your life like a flame, and it will purify you. It will cleanse you. It bursts you, and it brings you home. The deep feminine is dedicated and devoted to truth, authenticity, expression, right? What drives her is freedom, right? She craves freedom. What inspires her is courage, boldness, ballsiness. And what guides her is love, right? She leads from the heart. She leads from the womb. She leads from the body. Above everything else, the feminine, the priestess, right? She's devoted to love. She doesn't feel like she has to explain herself. The deep feminine hates that. She doesn't apologize for existing or being herself. She allows herself to be messy because it's liberating. It's true. It's raw. It's authentic, right? And liberation is owning everything that the feminine was taught to reject about herself. Everything that she was conditioned to repress, suppress, deny, it is literally where her power lies. When she begins to take radical ownership and responsibility over her life and over herself, this will liberate the fuck out of you. This is where you find your power. When you stop being a victim and when you begin to meet it with your power. What is this trying to teach me? What is this showing me? Where is my power in this? Where is my responsibility? Right? The feminine doesn't bend so other people like her. That drains her life force and her energetic signature, which is literally your most magnetic and valuable assets as a feminine leader, right? The feminine is willing to be an outlaw. She's willing to be exiled. She's willing to be welcome and included, but only when she's being welcome and included by herself first. And when she's being welcome and included for being fully herself. The feminine is willing to walk away to things that are not in alignment, that are no longer in alignment, that no longer serve her, because she knows at the end of the day, no matter what, she's going to be okay, right? She's got her own back. And if she's in environments or with people that aren't filling her cup, then it's just not your people. Be brave enough to go first. Be brave enough to walk away. Be brave enough to be different. And understand that no one can make you feel ashamed for what you want or who you are unless you already feel ashamed first. Okay. And like you're about fully recognizing and owning who you are. It's coming home to the most unapologetic and true and raw version of yourself. And this can only happen as the feminine descends. As you journey into the unknown, as you go head to head with the mystery, and you trust that God has led you there for a reason. I want you to really understand that this doesn't happen by mistake. The void was preordained for your becoming. There is a cosmic arrangement taking place on purpose, right? Even when it doesn't feel this way. The feminine will journey into the void many times in her life. And that's why it's so important to begin to learn how to navigate these spaces of transition, okay? Death is painful. And if you don't fully embrace and understand that it is the pathway of the feminine, the pathway of the goddess, you will create suffering because your ego will constantly be clinging to what's dead and dying when what's being asked is to let go in order to be reborn. Okay. And this is truly how you begin to come back home to self, to embody the unique rhythm and pulse of aliveness that is you. When you drop deep into your body, deep into the void, and when you surrender and get on your hands and knees with God, when you embrace the mystery, when you embrace the unknown, creating space in the body and in your life for God to move to you and through you, this is where you will awaken your deepest soul artistry and expression. And when you really will meet yourself and to become the woman that you were always destined to be and to become. Okay. This is the power of the feminine descent. This is the power of the void. This is where you will awaken your soul codex and embody your essence. I want you to close your eyes and to really feel what I'm about to say. Your body is a sacred temple with cells of living light and bones of ancient wisdom. You are holy in your true nature. The blood that runs through you is that of all women who have came before you. Their prayers still ring through the fiber of your being. All you have to do is attune. Attune your senses to their messages. Slow down long enough to feel the grace of your own being. Learn her cycles. Follow her path. Now is your time to find the temple within. And this is my greatest prayer and invitation for all of the women who are brave enough to go first, who are brave enough to be themselves.